I am Pepper Bay. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Sunday, the 5th of January. Welcome to the new year. Very exciting. I know a lot of people tend to use it as a stepping stone or as a date to start fresh or start new habits and old habits. Essentially try to make yourself a better person. And that's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. I always say make today Monday instead of waiting until a new year. But as long as you're using something as a starting point, that's the first step. And that's amazing. So, blessed to be here. Blessed to be above dirt. A couple things in the spicy community going on. We've got League of Fire just announced a new belt match. It's going to be in Gettysburg, PA. It's going to be part of a festival put on by Late for Work. And they're always doing good things. Jason Pettibone is a great human being, one of the best. And it's going to be an awesome event. Not only the Pepper Festival, but the Pepper Eating Match as well. It's going to be Sunday, October 12th. They're still in need of a hot sauce sponsor, so if you're interested, if I reviewed your sauces on this show and you'd like to be a sponsor for that belt match, please reach out to League of Fire or myself. I can get you in touch with them. Definitely, the spots weren't filled, but they filled up within hours of it being announced, more or less. And there are some heavy hitters. To name a few, Midge Wellbaum, who was the Sacramento belt winner last year, the year before. Stephen Kurgan, who beat me out in Colorado to win that belt match. So it's going to be stacked. It's going to be definitely an interesting belt match. One everybody should tune in for or go see live. Today's episode, we're going to be reviewing sauces that I got in a Secret Santa gift. So pretty excited about that. They are sauces from a company called Sauce Daddy, which that's pretty cool. Nice name, nice labels. And I haven't tried any of their sauces, so this will be very interesting to see a whole new company as far as what I'm used to. And with that being said, let's get into it. First one on the docket is going to be garlic sriracha Sauce Daddy hot sauce. Cool label. Looks like you got like a dragon there with some garlic. Pretty awesome. Let's look on the ingredient list here. We got distilled vinegar, tomatoes, water, garlic, honey, onions, salt, lemon juice, and a crushed ghost pepper blend. So let's go ahead and open this up and give it a try here. We're going to go ahead and give it a Taylor Swift. We're going to shake it up. Shake it up. Let's see what we got smell-wise going on here. Okay. Definitely getting some classic sriracha smells. Definitely getting that lemon in there. Interesting. Yeah, that garlic. Definitely getting some garlic. Oof. Good thing I'm not a vampire, right? Go ahead and cleanse the palate one more time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the consistency here. Come on. Come on. We're gonna do another Taylor Swift, so hopefully it comes out a little bit better. So it's definitely a little thicker. That's okay. Oh, I got a nice spoonful now. The color's nice. It's almost like you can tell that there's honey in there. It's got like a nice golden hue to it. Okay. Nice and subtle. You get definitely the acidity from the lemon that flows right into a nice little burst of, I wouldn't say heat, but you can definitely tell that there's peppers in there, which is nice, obviously, because it's hot sauce. And then it kind of dissipates. There's definitely some garlic flavor going on in there. Do another spoonful. That garlic's playing with the acidity from the lemon juice very well. The heat's honestly almost non-existent. Now that may be because of me, but like even more so than normal. So I'd put it at a 1 or maybe even less on the heat scale. Flavor-wise, it's okay. I'd probably like run-of-the-mill hot sauce, like a Tabasco or you know, a tapatio or a sauce such as that. I'd probably give like a 5. I'm probably going to give this one a 4, if I'm going to be really honest with myself here. It's lacking a little bit of punch. And the flavors, like, they're there, but they're not really, there's nothing special about it. So I'll actually move that up to a 5. This is a table sauce. Like I said, less than a 1 for the heat, maybe a 5 on the flavor. It's just like that there's something missing almost with this sauce. Nothing wrong with that. I give honest reviews here, so every once in a while you're going to get one that's not, you know, up there in range. But good table sauce. It's a 5. Garlic sriracha from Sauce Daddy Hot Sauce. Okay. Next one we got is going to be Pineapple Fulmination. Again, by Sauce Daddy. Little mountain range in the back. Got some pineapples on there. Looks like it's at dusk or maybe at dawn, depending on how you're looking at it. See what the ingredients list is here. Pineapple, distilled vinegar, tomatoes, garlic, water, onion, honey, salt, ground Carolina Reaper pepper, and paprika. So we'll go ahead and give it a Taylor Swift here. Open this bad boy up, you know. Okay. So it definitely looks like a thinner sauce. See what the smells like here. I love that sound when I open up a fresh bottle of hot sauce. That little. Oh, wow, okay. You almost get, it's definitely a cooked pineapple smell that you get right away, almost as like an applesauce that's been reduced a little bit. A little bit of acidity, more acidity because of the, you know, pineapple. Okay. Let's see what we got consistency here. Nothing wrong with that. It's like I said, a little looser, but nothing wrong with that. That pineapple smell is definitely coming out. Okay. So you get a burst of sweetness. It was right into like the classic Carolina Reaper flavor. And then you kind of get like halted with like the acidity from like the tomatoes and the onions. Not really acidity from the onions, but like the strong flavor from the onions. It's not bad. The heat's nice. Again, the Reaper kind of hits you in the back of the throat a little bit more than other peppers. But it's still well blended because it's not like destroying the back of my throat. The heat is enveloped over my palate. Pretty tasty. Let's go ahead and give that one more spoonful here. This could almost be a drink. Yeah, it's got some nice flavor to it. I'd probably give this one like a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 2 on the heat scale there. Maybe a 4 for a non-chili head. A nice little burn. That's Pineapple Fulmination by Sauce Daddy. Check Sauce Daddy out on Facebook. Cleanse my palate here. Alright, next up, we've got Kingston Fire. Mango, pineapple, and Scotch bonnet. As a lot of you may not know, with like Kingston, so from Jamaica, a lot of Scotch bonnets used. A lot of Scotch bonnets used in a lot of their cooking and their sauces. Personally, I'm a big fan of Scotch bonnets. I love the flavor. I love the heat that it brings, the level of heat. It's a very good ingredient. So Kingston Fire. Let's see, by Sauce Daddy. Let's go ahead and give it a little Taylor Swift here. Shake it up, shake it up. Alright. Ingredients, we got pineapple, distilled vinegar, tomatoes, mangoes, water, honey, salt, ground Scotch bonnet, pepper, lemon juice, ground ginger, and cumin. Sauce Daddy is going to be out of Loveland, Colorado. Let's see what we got here. Okay. It smells incredibly fruity. Like you're standing next to a fruit stand almost. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what the consistency's like. Come on. Wow. That fruit smell is absolutely incredible. Wow. Okay. Cheers. Definitely incredibly fruity sauce. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the pineapple and mangoes it blasts through. Not really getting a whole lot of heat, but it's a nice little warming effect from the Scotch bonnets. You get that flavor from the Scotch bonnets, which is almost a little fruity. Excuse me. That's it. Very interesting. I could already tell like this on some chicken, maybe some jerk chicken. Some jerk chicken, maybe like a pork tenderloin over like fried rice. Would be giving it a great depth of flavor, and some fried rice, some pineapple fried rice, even. Very interesting. I give this one probably a 7 out of 10. The heat levels, it's a nice warm, so it's like a 1.5 to 2. Very interesting. You really get it's really impactful on the fruit, and it's a simplistic ingredient list, but you like that because the simplistic ingredient list means that they know what they're doing. Not to say that you can't do that with long ingredients lists, but there's no fillers. It's straight to the point. It tells you what's in there on the label, and you get that flavor aspect, which is honestly great because you can trust what you're reading on the label when you're buying hot sauce that you've never tried before. So there's something amazing about that. I give it a nice little 7 out of 10. Kingston Fire. Again, this is going to be from Sauce Daddy out of Colorado. Very interesting. Very fruity. On some vanilla bean ice cream. It's one of those ones where it could be used as a dessert sauce. Also could be used as a savory sauce. So, dealer's choice on that one. Next up, we've got Reggie's Revenge Smoked Garlic Scorpion Hot Sauce. Got a little evil pepper guy on that logo. Looks like the I don't know if that's supposed to be the. I know the Cuban flag only has 1 star, so maybe that's supposed to be like an American flag kind of logo design. Let's see what the ingredients list is here. Got distilled vinegar, tomatoes, onion, garlic, salt, balsamic vinegar, brown sugar, tamari, which is water, soybeans, salt, and alcohol. Lime juice, portobello mushrooms, raisins, ground Trinidad scorpion pepper, and ground ghost pepper. That's very interesting. Raisins. It's not an ingredient that you see very often in hot sauce. I'm curious if it's like a golden raisin to try to give it like a sweeter depth of flavor without giving it too much sweetness, or if it's just classic sun-dried raisins that you get in the box. Very curious here. I love when the tops come off in one sheet. That's amazing. So we're going to give that a little Taylor Swift here. We're going to shake it up. Shake it up. Let me see if I can get this on the microphone here. See what the consistency looks like. Oh. That's a very interesting smell. What is that I'm getting? It might be the earthiness from the portobello mushrooms. and maybe the garlic and the balsamic mixing. It's very woody is the right word for it. It's not like smoky. It's very like woody. Interesting. Okay. See what the consistency's like here. It's got a nice pour to it. Again, this is Reggie's Revenge by Sauce Daddy. Pretty bland in the front. You get a nice afterburn. With the scorpion and with the ghost. But again, nothing that pops, nothing that makes it stand out. The heat's already dissipated. It's a good table sauce. So again, we're gonna go with a nice little 5 out of 10. Could definitely see putting this in some eggs, adding it to a mole, adding it to like a birria, like as an addition of flavor and not to be like the star of the show. Because again, nothing's really popping to me. Oh, the woodiness is coming from the smoked garlic. Okay, that's what that is. It's interesting, but not really. Doesn't really set itself off from like any other smoked garlic sauces that I've had in the past. So we're gonna give this a 5 out of 10. Lots of garlic, and that was Reggie's Revenge by Sauce Daddy out of Colorado, Loveland, Colorado. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the new year just happened. As we're going to talk about this for the spicy sermon today. The new year just happened, and it was a little crazy in the Bay household. Father Bay had to go to the hospital, was having some complications because of his knee surgery, not directly, but indirectly. So it's pretty lonely. I made some video calls, and I chatted with people all night, rang in the new year that way, had the next day off, and it was just quiet and sitting there worried about my dad. So before I get into this spicy sermon, just if you haven't, call your dad, call your mom, tell them you love them, tell them you're thinking about them. They love to hear that, and it only takes a couple minutes to make somebody's day, because it will make your parents' day that you call them. So when it comes to the new year, it's always great because people use it as a launching platform of bettering themselves, stopping old habits, starting new habits, getting into new routines, and that's great. It's amazing that people have an opportunity, and it helps take a mental block out so you can push forward in that motivation. But here's some facts on New Year's resolutions, and this can seem daunting. It's not supposed to. This is supposed to be as even more of a motivating tool. Percentage of New Year's resolutions that ultimately fail. Nearly half of Americans make New Year's resolutions. Only about 25% of people actually stay committed to the resolutions after the first 30 days. That means 75% of people will give up within 30 days of that new resolution. 30 days. Now, in this world, we've gotten more used to instant gratification. And that's just not how life works 99% of the time. So, it's not like 30 days isn't enough, guys. Especially if you're changing a habit. Usually it takes about 6 weeks minimum. Putting something into a new routine, or changing habit, dietary, physical activity, being more organized, cleanliness, whatever it is that you're trying to change. 6 weeks is like usually the minimum before you actually see a consistent effort where your brain takes over, or your with physical exercise where your dopamine receptors take over and you feed off of that. You got to give it more time. 30 days is just simply not enough. So 75% within the first 30 days give up that New Year's resolution. And then only 10% by June. So the rest of that goes away except for 10% is left by June. So that's 6 months. Why I'm telling you these statistics is, if you really want change, if you really want to see change in yourself or what you're doing, you need to dedicate yourself. And if you truly expect to change or truly believe that you can change, that's just not enough. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the effort. You have to want it. It's like quitting smoking. It's a lot easier when you want to quit instead of somebody saying, "Oh, you should quit. Oh, cigarettes are bad." When your brain says, "I want to quit," it's much easier because you're self-motivated. So, like me, for instance, this year, half of my pay, already 20% goes into a 401k account. Half of my pay from that point on is going into an account that I can't touch until the end of the year. Work has this like Christmas thing set up, and I'm just taking full advantage of it and putting a lot more money in. So half of every paycheck each week goes into that. By the end of the year, I'll have enough to buy the 20 by 60 shed that I want to get. Then I can start converting it, the 401k percentage that I'm putting in there. By 4 years, I'll be able to buy a nice piece of property, at least an acre, if not maybe 5. And because land is still cheap out here in Georgia in some places. It's a progression that I know needed to happen, and this way it forces me to save to where I can't touch the account. So like I don't have access to those funds until like the first week in November or something like that. And for me, that works really well. Like I'm gonna have to button down a little bit more as far as my spending habits are concerned, because now I actually have to budget with the remaining amount of money. But it's good because no matter what happens this year, I know my progression that I want in life is going to be happening. I'm taking a huge step at the end of this year, and that'll start other things getting going as well. I've been doing carnivore diet for about 2.5 months now, and it's just not enough. Like I lost some weight, but it's not now. It's leveled out a little bit. So I need to get stricter with my eating habits even more so, and less cheat days. And knowing, so I went and got a gym membership. I'm going to be starting to go at least 4 days a week. I think that's a great number, that still gives me 2 days a week where I don't have to feel motivated to do that, and that's okay. But if you have the ability to put like more intense structure to those goals, then you're going to adhere to them. So I took that opportunity because I want to succeed. I don't want to be one of the 75% that drops out in the first 30 days or 90% that drops out by June. I want these things to change, and I want these things for myself, no matter what happens. So I have that push, I have that drive behind myself, and I have the opportunity. And for some people, it's you can't do something as drastic as that. Maybe it's hey, I'm not going to drink soda this year. Okay, what are you going to do to help yourself in not drinking soda this year? Did you know if you don't drink soda or juice for a whole year, you will automatically lose 20 pounds? That's a fact. Like just not having sugar water coming into your system, you will drop 20 pounds. You don't have to change your physical habits or anything like that. Just not drinking soda or juice, you'll drop 20 pounds. So, and not only that, but it's great because that helps with, soda leads to diabetes and all that jazz. Like juice is never really juice. Natural juice, even if it's natural juice, it has a lot of natural sugars that people don't realize, like that there's still sugar in there. So make the small change. If it's something like that may seem small for somebody else. Like for me that doesn't drink soda. But I also see it as if you're drinking, 4 or 5 sodas a day and you go, I'm not going to drink sodas anymore, that's huge for you because you're completely changing your routine. And that's big. That's a huge step. So what are you going to do? Are you going to not carry change for the vending machine at work, so that you're not tempted? Are you going to start bringing a giant water bottle and filling that up? Or getting flavored water with no sugars or anything like that? What are you going to do to help benefit you along and to help keep you honest? I have a friend of mine who she was asking if I had somebody to essentially be like my workout, but not necessarily work out with me, but to make sure that I'm keeping track of my goals and my amount of activity. I said I hadn't even thought about that. So I'm, again, very blessed that somebody has stepped up and said that they would be that person. So I'm going to take full advantage of that because, again, I don't want to be one of the 90%. I want to be one of the 10% that's getting their goals achieved and realized. So it's 5 days in. Have you started your New Year's resolution? Did you make one? Are you keeping to it? Have you already kind of slipped up a little bit? Think about, do I really want this? And motivate yourself, and tell yourself to stop doing that or start doing that. I haven't gone to the gym, and I should be starting Monday, but I've been working out at home with my weight set and stuff like that. So make your means your necessity. Help yourself to help you. And again, you put in that effort, I promise you by the end of the year, you're going to be happy with yourself. You're going to be proud of yourself. When was the last time you felt proud of yourself? For a lot of people, that's not very often. And small, if it's a big goal by the end of the year, what small steps can you take to reach that big goal? Make the small goals achievable so that it gains traction, it gains motivation for yourself, and ultimately leads to you bettering yourself. So as always, it's about that time here on the Church of Hot Sauce. Hoping that everybody here had a wonderful New Year's, and you have the ability to better yourself. What are you going to do to better yourself? As always, here on the Church of Hot Sauce, this is Pepper Bay. May the spice be with you and with you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, guys. Go Chargers, and we'll see y'all next week.